What's up, everybody? My name is Charles, and last year I fell down a rabbit hole and bounced off the sides of that thing all the way down to the bottom. And it's been an interesting and uh, it's been an interesting journey. And I've talked a lot about the right wing, and I haven't really said much about the left wing. And I think I need to clarify a few things about some things that I said, because most of the time I was going off the top of my dome. But throughout this journey, I've done a lot of research and I've learned a lot of things. First and foremost, I want to start by clarifying some things with the whole systemic racism and everything. Uh, I don't feel like I represented BLM very well, so I want to take this opportunity to make amends and and bring the facts. I was blind to the facts. I was just going off the top of my dome when this started last year. So now that I know some things, let's make this shit right. All right, now listen up, people. Class is in session. Today we're gonna start with the year 1860. What about 1860 do you say there, Charles? Well, in 1860, you may know of a man called Abraham Lincoln. Well, he was running for president. In 1861, Abraham Lincoln was elected and took office. The Confederate States seceded from the United States at that time, and were the northern part of America was known as the Union, and they were considered to be loyal to the United States, and the Confederate States that decided to secede from the United States were considered to be traitors. Thus began the Civil War, where the South fought to preserve the slavery industry, but the North fought for democracy. In 1862, Abraham Lincoln signed the Homestead Act. The Homestead Act was several laws set in place where any applicant could apply for government land. During this time, over 160 million acres were given away for free. Now, other people were allowed to apply for, this homestead thing. There's 160 acres for free, as long as they were United States citizens and free slaves. But think about that. Imagine what it must have been like. Civil War just popped off. The South is trying to preserve slavery, and if you're a freed slave, then you have the opportunity to apply for land. But of course, nobody's going to want you to get land. So imagine what that would have been like. How to become a freed slave? It's like that would just be like. I can imagine that must have been like dropping a mouse into a snake pit and being like, "You're free." Well, also during this time, the North and South were fighting over the land now, and the South was overtaking the North because they had slaves, so they were able to get more land quicker and things like that. And the North felt like that the South was overtaking them, and they felt like the South should have to work their lands on their own, apart from not having slaves, and because they were cheating. It was like, of course they were cheating. You know that the slave owners were like, hey, you go apply for U.S. citizenship. Go get your 160 acres, but then that's going to be my 160 acres. Yeah, you remind me. During this time, the North and the South were fighting over land and over over democracy and over the slavery industry. In 1864, Abraham was reelected. In 1865, Congress passed the 13th Amendment, which freed the slaves. That was in 1865, January 31st. Congress passed the 13th Amendment, which freed the slaves. 3 months later, on April 15th, 3 months later after Abraham Lincoln passed the 13th Amendment, he was assassinated by a Confederate sympathizer. Then comes 1866. This was the Civil Rights Act. This was the first civil rights law to be passed as law, and it was essentially giving African Americans just the right to live. Because before this, during the Civil War and all that stuff, Abraham Lincoln and wanting democracy, and the South wanting slavery, the people were getting killed and massacred. So in 1866, we got the right to live. During this time, it included another Homestead Act that included African Americans, but due to discrimination and rampant racism and stuff, it wasn't fruitful. Then comes 1870. So for a while now, slaves weren't allowed to take part in their free 160 acres, but many other people were. Okay, the North and the South were allowed to partake in this free land. The Civil War had ended in 1865, and the South had pretty much surrendered and fell apart. And the slaves, African Americans, are trying to get their right to be equal. They're trying to get their 2/5 back from the day America was established. When the Declaration was signed, everyone was created equal except for anyone else. Anyone else was considered 3/5 of a man. So they're still fighting to be considered allowed to live and have rights and be equal for years now. Well, the South still wanted people. The white supremacy thing still lingered, and attempts to continue to make it so to keep the power balance were done. All sorts of stuff was done, and in 1870 is when the Jim Crow laws started. The Jim Crow laws were segregational laws. Like those are the laws where we were segregated to certain areas and not allowed to ride in certain seats of the bus, not allowed to go into certain facilities, not allowed to go into certain schools, we're not allowed to drink from certain water fountains, not allowed to go into bathrooms. Like that was the segregations. And so in 1969 or in 1896 is when the Jim Crow laws were upheld. The Jim Crow laws made it to where African Americans didn't get any funding. They didn't get any funding for educational schools and facilities. In some areas, they didn't even get facilities at all. They were just pushed to certain areas and then left. They didn't get no funding at all. So they were just left with, after 10 years of everyone else claiming their 160 acres, over 1.6 million acres given away for free, and then fighting for your right to live, and then they put in these Jim Crow laws that segregate you from everybody because there's too many white people that want democracy, so they're trying to make each other happy, I guess. I don't know. They're trying to make it work without the war, because the South couldn't do anymore. Couldn't win the war. So there's gotta try something else, pretty much. Here comes the Jim Crow laws. Separate everybody, but don't give them jack crap to work with, and don't even give them any funding, no facilities, and keep your foot on them as long as possible. Civil Rights Act started in 1954 and lasted till 1968. I know I'm really oversimplifying and not telling a bunch of stories in between, but I'm like, there's a common trend going on, and that's what I'm trying to point out: the systemic racism, why there's income inequality, that stuff. I'm trying to point that stuff out. In 1961, JFK was elected for president. JFK was a Democrat. JFK stood for democracy. He supported the civil rights movement. And 2 years into his presidency, he was assassinated. See the common trend? Abraham Lincoln. And you got JFK. There are many civil rights acts, okay? Because African Americans were fighting for their equality. They're fighting for their chance to live and be a part of the be equal to everyone else. And I mean, there's the Civil Rights Act of 1957, 1960, 1964, and then 1968. So they wanted to be a part of the socioeconomic process and gain, and have their right to vote and everything. Then, in 1968, Martin Luther King is assassinated. See the common trend? Hold the brother down. After he's assassinated, that's when we get our Fair Housing Act to allow us to live in places. Don't be discriminated. Don't get segregated and stuff like that. Although that stuff still happens. People still have the racism still there. I mean, 1968 wasn't that long ago. 1968 was like your grandmother ago. My great grandmother was a slave. My father lived through the Jim Crow laws. It wasn't that long ago. All that the repercussions from that, we're still dealing with. The racism is still there. BLM is completely justified. Completely justified. It is disproportionate. It's always been disproportionate. All of it. There's reasons why those statistics say that what they do, and make it look like, well, black people do all the crime. There's a reason why those statistics say what they do, is because predominantly black areas are more policed. So with over policing, you get more detection of crime, which is definitely going to make the statistics go up. And then these people get put through the system, and then get put back out into these shit environments with a record where they can't do anything. They can't get a job because they got a record. There's no rehabilitation, no funding, no helping. The schools suck. There's no place to get a job. It's dirty as hell. No funding. It's anything. So what do you expect them to do to survive? They gotta do what they gotta do. You know, if you make people desperate, if you leave people in desperation, they do desperate shit to survive. Like crime. The police brutality, for sure that's racism. It's because since the dawn of our day, it's been believed that we are criminals and we're not human. People deny it all day long, but that's for real. That's what it is. People have this predisposed fear. You see it in all the videos, man. And then they like try to kill you. Like it's like they're completely justified. You can trace it back to the day America was established. All of it. We're still dealing with the consequences of all that. Like it didn't just go away. It's still here. Now, how do you think we could solve that problem? Well, we have to put funding into their environments. We have to help rehabilitation. Stop just doing what's been doing. It's a whole systemic issue. So we have to change the system. My only thing with the BLM, only problem with it is the name, because I knew back the first thing that I thought when a long time ago, last year, at the beginning of last year, is I thought about the name. I was like, that name is going to piss people off. They're like, just the name itself, because it makes it seem like you single out one over the other, and definitely one is being treated for sure. Like you can even look up the wealth gap, and it's huge. It's the wealth gap between black and white Americans is fucking huge. I just thought that if they would have called it like police brutality and then silently, or stand up against police brutality and then silently, without bringing up the race part, but involved police brutality against white people too, I feel like that would have silently contribute to the healing of the racist stuff, just without saying anything. Just I'm just thinking it from a visual standpoint. If I would have saw an army of black folk start marching down the street, stand up against police brutality, but also bring it to light it's happening to white people too, I think that would have helped towards the racist stuff. But that's just hindsight thinking. But you saw what happened is when All Lives Matter came out, it was just a response to the name. That's all. It was just like a complete like jealousy type of stuff. That's really all it was. Because they weren't even talking about police brutality happening to them. They were just it was straight up white supremacy. That's what the hell that was. The All Lives Matter movement, it was straight up white supremacy. And it's all because of the name. But that's just hindsight thinking. But you saw it all around the world that the name kept people from the way they react to it. You'd be like, well, that police brutality happens to white people too, and they just be like, we're just about black people. But if it fucks it all up, man. It's just hindsight. They're completely justified. They fucking police brutality is definitely disproportionate. Getting stopped is disproportionate. Shit, I fucking have experienced the stop and frisk shit for no reason. So, This shit's real. It's for real. We have to fix that shit by fixing the environment and the systemic issues. I hope I did okay with that, and you guys learned something. I'm still studying, trying to bring up the facts, and educate, handle business. I'm brand new into this. This was the first year I voted because I saw what Donald Trump and his administration and the Republicans were doing. So I voted to just get them out of there because I felt like they were trying to kill us all. So I'm hella new into this politics thing. I'm trying to learn, trying to represent it well. So I hope I did you guys justice right there, and I'm gonna keep on trying to keep learning, keep moving, keep doing this stuff, man. We'll make it right. We gonna make this shit right. Now, I want to talk about the Democrats. I don't think they're our savior. I think that they're pussyfooting it. The conservatives tried to give our country away to the original traitors of the United States. Donald Trump and the Republicans tried to give our country away to the original traitors of the United States, to the Nazis, to racists, to fascists. I was trying to search for solutions and figure out anything I could, just figure out what was happening. I was fucking losing my mind. So, because the world, all these things that I felt like I knew, but people were telling me it's not the way the world works this way. I knew there was something else, and this journey has been good for me. And I filmed the process of something, and it's very interesting, even watching myself over, from an outside perspective, and watching the videos that I put up. And I filmed something. I filmed the process. I filmed what capitalism does to people. And during the studying, I found out what that was, and what I was feeling, and what I was doing, what I was trying to do, what I was trying to achieve. And to find out where I stood. So in these videos, I try to use my basic logic, common sense, and common knowledge to try to get a grip on what's happening in the world around me. But if you've been following along with my videos at all, and whatever's been happening in the world, at this point, I feel like I don't know what the hell is going on, and I'm just still trying to get a grip. And it's changed into study for me. So I'm trying to figure out what about my mindset made my employers be selfish and not give me survivable shit. Like, how did I bring selfishness upon myself? I didn't always make bad choices. You know what I'm saying? When I made my bad choices, I owned up to them, and then I fucking paid my dues. Everything that I asked for, they didn't give to me. They gave it to somebody else. I got passed up. But I broke my bones for them. Let's start talking about real stuff. Shit that means something. Like, how do we actually solve the problem instead of sitting here continuing the same behavior? Because in this type of world, to be selfless, do things for other people for reasonable amounts of money, and sometimes for free, and equality will end you up on the streets. because other people out there selling fucking water for $12 a bottle. It's because of our environment. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad, it's gonna fuck you up. Get deeper. Tired of all this superficial bullshit. I'm trying to get deeper. I'm trying to figure out where this shit went wrong in our molecules, son. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to talk about but shit that don't fucking mean nothing and ain't gonna help nothing. It's just gonna give me a little bit of information to have in the moment. It's the environment. Equal playing, equal money, equal pay. If we had all that, what would we be arguing about? What would people be kicking doors down? You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck are a lot of cats that I see on the street sporting military insignia? What kind of shit is that? With their legs blown off right in front of the damn courthouse. We gonna go back to the way the world works? Come on, yo. Obviously, the way the world works doesn't really work well. Come on, man. There's fucked up people all over the place. There's people doing fucked up shit all over the place. We need to, stop acting like fools and start talking about what really can make a difference. What really can make this better. Unless you down for this type of stuff. You down for like having drama and on the near death of everything. Just seek to destroy. Fuck everybody else. I'm gonna get mine. You gotta be like, do your good deed for the day, but then the rest gotta be, I'm gonna get mine. Tell me how that shit works. Tell me how that does work for like a long period of time. Because I'm just looking back through history and seeing that what depression was gonna hit. Fucking the economy being the people are gonna uprise. The working class, they're gonna uprise at some point, get pissed and want change. And then they get their money jacked and the economy or fucking values of stuff goes up, and then the value of money goes up, and then prices of gas goes up, and it's the same old shit, different day. It's the environment that fucks us up. It's this trying to keep us in certain tiers fucks us up. We need to equal out the environment, equal out the pay, and it's the selfish mentality of needing to be out on top and being like, no, I don't want you to be equal to me, is what fucks us up. Well, adopt my mindset. Okay, everybody, if we all adopt that mindset, who's going to make our merchandise? Who's going to make my teeth? Who's going to make my fucking plane? Who's going to build my house? Who's going to repair my shit? Who's going to do my landscaping? Who's going to put in my irrigation? Who's going to plunge my toilet? Change the environment. Equal out the environment. Then let's talk. We need people that do this stuff. Okay? The machine don't work unless somebody's doing the stuff. I don't think it's all about mindset. It ain't all of our faults why we get dealt a bad card. And if we all try to gain wealth the way people gain wealth these days, we'd be fucked. We gotta have a working class. We gotta have people that do work. And our upper class needs to realize that their shit don't work without us. So pay us, damn it. Pay us fucking money. Let us survive. Because if we ain't around, you don't get your shit, man. You better get to learn how to make robots. All of our shit, we already know about all of our stuff and how it can go better. But the reason why it doesn't go better is because our upper class can't get rich if we get better. If we work off of sustainable energy and work on rehabilitating people that go into prisons and make bad choices in their lives. If we work on caring about one another and having harmony and wealth for everyone and welfare or the well-being, then rich people could not get rich. They wouldn't be able to be the one on top and the winners and stuff like that. That's what holds us all back. I mean, It's 2020, man. We've had thousands of years to get right. Because I'm trying to study this from an outside perspective. I'm including studying myself and my behaviors and how I react. I'm trying to find the common denominator. Where do we have the common ground in all this? And I think it comes from survival, and it comes from like different types of survival, like being able to survive in your community, in your group of friends, whatever. There's always different types of survival. This is the common ground. So it's also, so it kind of comes down to environment. So how do we equal out the environment for everyone? Focus more on better means of survival, better means of well-being, giving people the opportunity to get education and their value for it, and they're paid well for it, so they're not going home stressed out, having to pay bills and being in debt and being scared to go do something because they don't have any money, being scared to go to college even though they'd want to, but they don't have no money, so it would solve a whole lot of problems. It would change the environment, but at least we could make the environment better to keep from places getting burned the fuck down. Make people happier, feel safer, so they're not scared to say hi to you on the street, or they're not scared to offer you their helping hand. You know what I mean? Things would look better around here. People would be getting treated differently. I mean, my mom personally would get out and be willing to make things look beautiful, but I get out there and work my ass off. I don't get paid nothing. I still end up in the bushes. I gotta collaborate and help each other. You know what I'm saying? I have no money. Still waiting for the Republicans to decide whether or not they want to cut. They want to pay to have checks cut to get us, $2,000, because that's all we need to survive, according to them. But they need billions, and then they don't want to pay people to cut the checks. Like, that's fucking selfish. So we are being forced to go back to work and then go back home because people are catching corona. Now they're saying, well, they're not getting the stimulus check unless you have caught corona, pretty much. So you better go out and catch corona, or not. Hopefully you don't catch corona, but get your ass out there and do like you've been doing, and just don't catch corona this time. It's like a sharpened, double-edged sword. That's what it seems like. Just keep fucking sacrificing us to the fucking flames until this shit goes away. Just make sure that they're distracted, and we hurry up and get the fucking world working the way it's supposed to, or the way it's always has been, before they wake up and try to change it. Until I'm able to get into an area where I can collaborate with some people where we can actually make a much more impactful standing change, not just a little band-aid here and there, because we always go back to the same thing, always talk about the same issues, always same argument, just different name. People keep separating the issues, but they're still the same ones. The environment never changes. We still it'll go away, and then we'll go back to the way the world works. Going back to trying to make our wealth, you know what I mean? Change our mindset, and then fucking keep doing it. Got me first, that, whatever. Mine, all over the place. Then we forget. And then blam. Some cop kills somebody somewhere, or whatever the hell sparks or triggers us. And then, bam, we hit to the streets and start picketing and stuff and want better change. Then we start acting
uh, like our intentions get good, and then we want different, better stuff, but then things develop like white shame, and then people fucking taking a knee in the streets and stuff, and it's like that's not the way. What is going on? That's not the way this is supposed to go. We're not supposed to be separating. We're separating all over the place, while we're still getting sucked back into the way the world works. The environment for everyone needs to change for it to be equal. That way we all know where's each other on a common ground when we're away from each other. That way when the issues arise, we have a better understanding of one another. That thing, and because the world around us is about equality and harmony and living and helping each other out, making sure that our well-being is taken care of. Each other. I really want to. I'm just like everyone else, and things. Okay, so try not to get compartmentalized and on personal stuff. Get angry and frustrated and impatient. It is hard. It is difficult, especially knowing that I'm gonna have to go back to the things that created all this for me. So gotta maintain, keep trying, keep on the right path. Keep thinking about us all at the same time. And better quality of life, better quality for the planet and everything on it. I'm even willing to learn new stuff. And I got a drill and a hammer, so it's not about money to me. It's just the money's just the only way to survive in this type of world. So I want to be able to create a better environment for everyone, a better quality of life, and I want to be involved in that. Involved in creating the better environment for whoever the fuck you are, whatever you are. Just a better, less stress, not all these taxes and bills and debts for you, and having to pay for your water, so much for your water, and motherfuckers that have no problem coming in and turning it off and stuff like that. It's like, come on, that stuff needs to stop. I'm on a study right now. I fell down the rabbit hole. Now I'm in the rabbit hole. Now I'm okay, now I'm able to step out and perceive my life from an outside perspective, and a lot of other people's lives from an outside perspective. And I kind of see a core issue here, a common denominator, and that's we all need all of our needs for survival in many different type of ways. And it's due to the environment, and the environment creates different types of societies and whatever the hell your communities, so how do we create an equal environment so that people are more equal and playing with one another and able to understand one another much better, and not be so hell-bent on separating and being greedy and caring less about anybody else. Some more of my perspective. This shit's been going on forever. The only thing that's different about it is that it's shinier. It's the same thing. Same thing as back in the day with the freaking castles and shields and swords. And you bow to me. It's the same thing. Same racism. Just shinier. President is the one that says we need to turn America into a brand name. Turn it back into the business it's supposed to be, right? But at some point, I think everybody knows this. I don't know if they've noticed this, but business stopped being hey, I'll give you fucking a cake or some cupcakes or some shit, get some donuts and a nice coffee at the shop, and it's hey man, You have a wonderful day. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. You too. You know? It ain't like that no more. It's like you get robbed for everything you have, and then it's just business. That's what it is. That's Donald Trump. Watch. Fuck, man. My Netflix is full of fucking shit about bad people. Everything on my Netflix is fucking one story after another about everybody that's supposed to be good and running our country. Bunch of full ass documentaries on the shitty things that they do. What the fuck? They're still fighting, not coming up with the proper solutions, and we still voting for dumb motherfuckers like that. Just do some research on him, and then if you're like, well, there's some good things that he's done, then hey, man, you know, all the power to you, but I'm not gonna do that. I cannot be like, okay, it's just too super selfish feels like it's super selfish of me to be like, all right, well, he's leaving people to die at the border and fucking, kicking people out because of some people's actions and making people feel like shit for what they feel like believing in and making fucking Mexicans feel like super fucking GD fucking person. But hey, at least he'll cut back some of my taxes. Come on, man. Come on. Really? No wonder why people are fucking burning Seattle down. I believe it's purely coincidence that we were having this white-black thing here in America. We would be having racism experiences no matter where we are. This all stems from capitalism. People are experiencing these type of experiences all over the world all of the time. Every time I hear my history, I get pissed. I get mad and sad. I don't want to hear it no more. I want to write a new book here of history. I want to link up with everybody on the planet and learn new things, be creative, new ideas, and leave this freaking planet. If we all cared about each other in harmony and love, man, we could spread that among the cosmos, yo. We need to wake up and stop letting these upper echelon cats let us just be sheep. There's people on the streets during a virus that's killing people saying it's my American right to get a virus if I want to. That's the same thing. The only difference between this virus is it's not turning people into zombies. Do you understand that? Would you say the same thing during a zombie freaking apocalypse? Think about it, man. You're going to go out and talk about I'm going to try to build my immunity and then turn into a zombie and then fuck up everybody else you care about? Because that's what you're doing. That's what is happening. All of this. People need to wake up and start caring about their neighbors, yo. Start contributing. Stop robbing them. Capitalism is the death of us, son. Only way we survive is by joining hands and remembering what it was to love someone. That's a wrap.
I've been preaching equality, talking about equality, trying to find solutions, how we can equal out the ground, how we can bring equal wealth to people and bring happiness, and try to figure out how we could do that. Trying to figure out what people were saying, what things mean, what they're calling people, the left, the right, what is it? Fascism, anti-fascism. I was studying society, distinct from religion, distinct from philosophy, and I'm a fucking socialist. I've been a socialist this whole time. Okay? Socialism is a study and an idea to try to get rid of a social class, to bring equality by studying society, studying the systemic issues and fixing them so we can bring up the wealth gap problem, so we can create more jobs for people, better education. You know, all this stuff would help alleviate all of our problems just by making people happy. Stopping the, you know, desperation, because desperation is why people do things. You know, either we have to separate the snakes from the mistakes. With, you know, rehabilitation for people who make bad decisions, things like that, trying to help one another rather than ruining their lives. Capitalism kills people. It always has. Equality is what we need to achieve, you know? And we don't have to do everything the way someone else did. We can think new. So I started listening to I don't do well with like fucking opening up books, and I need audio books unless I'm like super duper interested in it. So I started listening to sociology, the introduction to sociology, and you know, watching the debates and stuff on the internet, listening to people, and you know, that's what I've been doing. That's where I am. I'm a socialist. I want equality. Oh, that's what I've been doing, trying to study society to figure out how we could fix the problems. You know, by just paying attention to people. Really. So I found out I know where I stand. I don't stand by fascism whatsoever. I'm not going to stand by it. I'm not going to try to work with it. I think we should do what we need to do to keep this stuff from happening, with people spreading their fascism and doing all of the things, the damage that it causes. All right, I think that people should have their rights. You know, the LGBT community. They should have their rights. They should be able to marry each other. They should be able to have children. You know, they should be able to identify with whatever they want to identify with, and people shouldn't fuck with them. You know, it doesn't. I don't get why people try to keep other people from being. I don't get why the right wing, every single time, tries to keep people from being happy. Every single time. Every single time. The only time you see the right-wing fascist KKK original traitors of the United States doing something, it's just antagonistic, talking crap, making people feel like shit in the streets. That's it. And then when anybody else comes up, be like, hey man, I want to stop being discriminated against. Hey man, I want to be able to have an equal life and survive with happiness. The right wing is there to be like, with that hard no. I'm not down for that. I'm not down for that. I'm not down for people spreading their lies like that, because of the people doing that, voices of influence, saying that crazy crap and scaring the crap out of each other. Like, do you really think that I'm going to come for your children? Do you really think that I'm going to want to put you in an education camp or something? Do you really think that I want to harm you? I don't want to harm you. But I don't want you spreading that crap. I don't want you, I care about your children, really. I don't want you teaching your children that fascist crap. So I want change our damn education. Make sure that we give them enough knowledge to combat that bullshit. Because it's damaging you. It fucks everything up, man. So I'm down for them not being able to spread that crap on the internet. Because I saw what Donald Trump did. Donald Trump tried to give our country away to Nazis. People don't even realize like the magnitude of that. We were this close. It's like I've learned like a lot about this, like with Antifa. It's like it's either you're fascist or you're anti-fascist. So yeah, I'm Antifa. I'm anti-fascist. I'm not down for fucking fascism. I'm not down for capitalism because all that shit fucks everything up. Obviously, you can trace it back to the beginning of time. It's like I'm pretty sure that this the way these guys are going, the conservatives, is a type of mentality because I've even heard voices of influence say things like equality is wrong. Like voices of influence, big guys where like millions of people listen to them. Equality is wrong. We need hierarchies to enslave the fucking masses. We need competent hierarchies to enslave the masses. That shit ain't competent. I'm pretty sure that kind of thinking is what contributes to the extinction of civilizations. Especially when fucking pandemics hit and you start sending people out to die from COVID. Damn it, man. And then these, Adam Smith's Masters of Mankind don't give two shits. Don't give us no money. Do you know how many charity organizations we have? Or non-profit charity organizations we have in the United States? 1.5 million. I think in like 2017 there was 1.4 million, which was enough to have one charity for per 300 people. Where the fuck is all that charity? Where the fuck is all that money going? We need to do some investigations because we in the middle of a pandemic and everybody's fucking homeless. Where's that charity now from the 1.5 million charity groups? Where's that one charity for every 300 people? Where's all this money we put into our damn insurance companies? Where's this money? Oh, it's in the hands of the Masters of Mankind. Because they don't give a fuck about us. They don't give a fuck about us. So no, I'm not standing by that shit. I'm not going with the Democrats trying to work with that shit either. We cannot work with that shit. You see, fascism and anti-fascism cannot coexist. It's either you is or you ain't. You know what I'm saying? We cannot go back to the way we used to be, which is what I think the Democrats are trying to get us to go to. And just ignore this shit. Do you see? We were this close to being taken over by Nazis. Maybe I can help clarify this what I'm saying, why I don't want to stand by this. During my trying to get educated process, I came across the tolerance paradox. The tolerance paradox is this: should the tolerant tolerate the intolerable? The answer is fuck no. You want to know why? Because if you tolerate the intolerable, you risk losing what is tolerable. Example. Notice how these crazy cats spreading their fear-mongering, terrifying the crap out of their own people with a bunch of bullshit. You notice how they're getting taken off platforms. That's it. We can't tolerate that shit because they get people to commit treason, kill people, take over our government by Nazis. So we can't tolerate that shit. We can't tolerate being taken over by fucking fascist Nazis. You understand? So they get taken off these platforms. But here's what you'll risk doing if you just tolerate this shit. Now I'm just gonna do this is just projectionist and assumption in my opinion right now. Okay? Bet the Democrats try to work with the Republicans and with this whole shutting people up thing, we all get shut up. We all won't be able to do anything, talk anymore. Because we allow motherfuckers like them to ruin everything. And then they don't take no accountability, no nothing. Try to give us away to fucking Nazis, yo. You don't understand the magnitude of that. If that's fucking huge. And then we just sit back and relax and be like, well, maybe we shouldn't upset them. Do you know what they're doing? What they're most likely doing? They're most likely doing what they've been doing. Recouping, regathering up, and then training themselves like a fucking army. The damn Second Amendment thing. You know, this whole gun nut thing too. It's like a lot of the shit that the conservatives be telling each other. When you listen to it, it sounds like pussy ass shit to me. Seriously, like you're so afraid of everything. Like nobody wants to take away your religion. Just don't fuck with nobody, man. You know, so like, nobody wants to take your children. It's just quit teaching your children to be fucking Nazis. See what I'm saying? You guys tell each other some crazy ass shit, and then the gun nut thing. Like my thing, like when you think about it, it's like before all this, before people started losing their minds during the pandemic, and people were doing the gun nut thing. I bet even now your lives are relatively safe, as long as you're not doing something crazy, you know. So what the fuck you need an arsenal for? You trying to be John Wick? Like, is there ninjas coming through your window at night every night? So I mean, if that were the case, I'd be like, yeah, you could use an arsenal, man. You got ninjas, but it seems a bit a pain in the ass to me. It's like, what? Nothing's happening though. You know, it's like, do you really need that much? Like, you really need them that bad? You can't just try to like help us out because the whole fucking gun nut thing is contributing to like toxic masculinity and children shooting up their schools and fucking now people settle like all of their disputes by killing you. Fucking, oh, you're gonna tailgate me? You're dead. You know, or you shovel your snow onto my thing or on my yard, you're dead. It's fucking crazy, dude. Bet they're the ones fighting for the damn Second Amendment right, man. Doing all that shit. People think that you need to have a gun to be a man now, or that's what makes you tough, or something. You know what I mean? I feel like I need an arsenal to protect myself against you guys. You guys are creepy as fuck. Just saying. I've drawn a line in the sand. I stand for equality and people's happiness. I stand for straight up. I'm not gonna stand for fascism. I stand for anti-fascism. I believe in socialism. I really want to continue my study into it. And like I said, I'm brand new into this. I'm brand new into this whole political realm thing. But, you know, I really just can't sit back and relax and not educate myself and not search for better solutions and a better way, a better path for the betterment of mankind and everything the fucking on this planet Earth. Capitalism is killing us all around. It's fucking up our climate. It's killing us right now. They send us into a pandemic. We can't even get a fucking stimulus check because they gotta argue. The damn Democrats and then the Republicans and then old Biden. You know, he ain't putting his fucking foot down. Put your foot down. Give us our mud. I think there's more of us out here in the workforce than them. I think there's people out there that are socialists by nature, but don't even know it. If you're out there, you know, you're in the labor force, you've been working your ass off, and you just can't seem to get it. You just can't figure out why they keep holding you down. Why can't you get that promotion? Why ain't they giving you that raise? You've been working your ass off. They keep sending you there. You can't be, you know. You're searching for the answers. You're searching for the equality. You care about yourself. You value yourself. You want a better way. You want to be able to be happy. You know. You just might be a socialist. In my coming videos, I'm gonna you know, try to do best to educate more on like policies and things like that. Try to search for try to think of policies to put in place, and just come from the heart with this stuff, man. You know, and bring more education on socialism, but it's not a bad thing, okay? From capitalism comes socialism, because the working class starts to search for a better way of life. Pretty much, we want equality. That's from socialism, okay? If you're out there, you know, you don't like Antifa, you don't like BLM, you don't like socialist, well, fuck, man, you're the one who created us. Pretty much, you created us with all your fascist shit, with all your shit. We are the consequence of you fucking evil, of the fascist evil, okay? You treat people like shit for so long, they're gonna seek a better way. That is what's happening. And you know what? I want a better way for all these motherfuckers. I want a better way for the whole left community. Damn it. I'm not, you know, these fucking, I can't believe that, like, I can't even believe people still stand up for this stuff, this conservative stuff that has been the death of us since the dawn of the ages, man. Like, I can't honestly, I can't unite with that. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's either I become a fascist, and I can't do that. I can't become a Nazi. So, this is an invitation. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a better way. The conservative way will be the death of us. The capitalistic way will be the death of us. I don't want to die, man. I don't want to die of COVID. Give me my fucking stimulus check. You large companies and CEOs and billionaires letting us fucking starve to death. All you cats that got your 160 fucking acres, y'all need to come up out your pockets and pay your fair share and contribute to society, because the shit that you're doing is killing us all, man. It's killing us all. These capitalistic cats are going to do their best to maintain the power balance. They're going to raise prices. They don't just go up. These guys raise them on purpose. They're probably gonna if we get the $15 minimum wage, you're gonna see layoffs or more robots and longer periods of time at lower levels of employment, or you'll be getting part-time jobs or something like that. These guys are gonna try anything they can to cash in because they see the socialist wave coming. Bet they do. They know that this is what they do to people. But the pandemic came through, and they didn't. That was their. That fucked them all sorts of ways. And Donald Trump, just he was the bad guy. He was the wrong fucking guy for them to to lead them for sure. Like if I was thinking that like diabolically, like them cats. Like, just imagine being around him. I'll just be like, hey, man. Look, man. You fitting to give away our shit. You need to calm the fuck down. Alright? Sit down. Quit saying all that crap. You fitting to give away our stuff. You giving us away. Shh. 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 For sure. That guy took it too far, tried to give our country away to Nazis. Never forget that. The conservatives, Republican Party, rode that train. They still on that derailing train. It's like got like 3 or 4 cars hanging off, like, and they still on there. They still hanging on for dear life. Trying to backpedal, flip the script. La 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 la. Scare the crap out of you. Scare the crap out of you. Man, I'm gonna work hard to keep heading down this path. I got flung down the right rabbit hole. I feel much better now. I feel a lot clearer. I feel like I'm on the right path, and I know what I need to study now. You know. Well, I'm gonna catch you guys next time. I love you. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Please wear your masks. And let's level the playing field together. Alright?